Hey everyone, Rather Than Coherent here, back with more Subnautica Below Zero. We're still in Marguerite space, and I think the first thing I want to do today is actually just swim around the outside of our base and see if there's anything scannable out here. And it is. There is a large room. So I guess this is just like the moon pool structure, but I can build whatever I want inside of it instead of just a moon pool. So that's neat. And I can make a glass dome for it, like I had in the other room, or like she had in the other room, rather. And it looks like that's all I'm going to get from the outside of her house. But let's look around this huge cavern for any various things. And it looks like this might actually be like the entrance to a very deep cave. Not just like one small thing. Oh, and let's turn off our stupid visor overlay. I have a still suit, which if I remember was that useless thing that let you drink your own pee. I have a spy pingling. Well, I'm going to figure out what that is very soon.
Technology acquired.
Can I plant this? Nope. What am I scanning? Oh, these. Blooming raindrops. Can't plant those either. There is something over here, though, that looks like part of a base I can scan. And a fish that I can scan as well. Oh no, I don't want to kill him. It's the discus fish. Now, unfortunately for him, to get the full information, I'm going to have to pick him up too, so... Sorry, dude. And a thermal plant fragment. I don't think I want to build my base anywhere other than where it's already at. That sounds like a hassle. But it is cool to think about building it near volcanoes. So I'm going to grab some rubies around here. I'm going to head back to the moon pool to stop this whole drowning deal that's about to happen. Alright, I'm thinking that maybe rubies aren't very rare based on how many I just found in one spot. Let's get back in the moon pool. Also, other question, where's the moon pool? It must be in this direction, I just can't see it from here. Yeah, it's right there. I cut this a lot closer than I was really planning to.
Oxygen.
Oh no, I'm on the wrong side of this thing. I don't think I'll drown, but it's going to be really close. Oh, it's really close, isn't it? Oh, whoops. Everything worked out fine in the end, though. How am I not gaining air? Just gotta climb into the moon pool properly because it's being a little bit weird. Okay. I'm gonna try to explore this area a little bit one more time. Specifically, I'd like to find some more, what was this, magnetite? Uranite crystal. Yeah. That sounds incredibly safe to just be carrying around in a backpack. I'm assuming that this is a dead end and there are just some resources and scannable things in here, and it's not like the path to another biome. If it's the path to another biome, I'm going to have to call this exploration very early. But for now, since I think I'm just going to be harvesting, I'm going to go ahead and set this to music and speed it up. So a new track just came in, and this goes down into definitely a new biome. So I'm going to grab a few more pieces of uranite so I can just see it around right here. But I'm going to head back after this. Because this sounds like... It's just so deep down, right, that I feel like I must be intended to come here later and not now. I have enough air right now that I do feel comfortable coming over to scan whatever these big glowing things are. It's a jade membrane. And it's also next to some other scannable stuff. A prawn suit propulsion arm and probably some other kind of arm. Torpedo arm. This area doesn't seem super dangerous, but I'm not about to test that. Okay. Let's get out of here before I drown and feel really silly about all this. And I think, again, I've cut this closer than I intended to.
Warning. 30 seconds of oxygen remaining.
Yeah, I've definitely cut this closer than I intended to. But, again, I think it'll be totally fine. In fact, I know it will. We're definitely within 20 seconds of the moon pool. Okay, so that's this area explored. There's definitely more down here that I'm not ready to do just yet. But for now, let's head back to my actual base and figure out what's up as our next real step. Because exploring 500 meters down in a cave with no vehicle definitely sounds like I'm getting ahead of myself. Oh wait, it's a gel sack. Yeah, I had plenty of inventory space to grab this. I should scan the next one, because I just have not been on the ball with scanning recently. I can scan this whole thing too. It's the lily pad roots. Unfortunately, I feel like I am not on the path I took last time. Oh, I am. I'm just going a different route. I went over it instead of through it. I'm guessing pilot last known position is close enough as a beacon for now. No, I would want to drop like a beacon here specifically in the future to get to that area faster, but for now it's good enough. Oh, it's like directly beneath where my sea truck is. So I guess I would just want to drop the beacon here in this area because it's so familiar to me. Oh wait, never mind. I thought I was I didn't realize where my sea truck was parked. I thought my sea truck was over in that I can't see it from here, but that tangle of lily pad roots that seemed like it would keep me safe from predators. Like that one. Wherever he is, I can hear him being angry. I have to go scan whatever that is. It looks like I might be getting attacked by this squid shark for this, but it's probably worth. It looks like I'm definitely getting attacked by this squid shark for this. It's a sea truck aquarium module? Why would I want to put an aquarium on my sea truck? That is very confusing to me. Well, once I find 2 more of them, presumably I'll know enough to actually have an answer. Do I have what it would take to build a reactor? Not a reactor, a fabricator. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I remember seeing a little bit of titanium down there. I'm going to go see if I can't find 3 pieces of copper ore. Because if I can, that'll make me feel a lot more good about what I've done so far. And yeah, we're on the right path to getting this done very quickly. I've already got 2 of the 3. Alright, yeah, that's the 3rd one. I just need to drop something for it, and I'll just overeat this nutrient block, I guess. And here's the copper. Let's get out of here. What I'm going to go do is I'm going to swim to my base, which is... I'm not going to use the sea truck. I'm going to leave it here as a marker for the time being. I'm going to use my sea glide to get back to the base. I'm going to build a fabricator in the base. I'm going to use that fabricator to build a beacon, which I can put at this hole that leads to Marguerite's base. Now that I'm doing this, I realize I would actually like 2 beacons. Oh, hey. While I was looking around for copper to make a second beacon, I found this thing that's just a titanium ore vein, which is neat, if not particularly useful, since it's for, you know, titanium. Okay, so I've just built my second beacon, and now what I'm going to do is, rather than leaving on this position, which is not super useful because it's just vaguely near Maida's area, I'm going to drop 1 beacon at my sea truck's location, which is the hole closest to Maida's house, and then I'll actually swim down the path and drop another one at Maida's house on the side closest to the crystal caves. And this is going to help me a lot when it comes to navigation in the future. So here we're going to have Lily Pad Caves entrance. We're going to swim all the way back down to Maida's area and drop another one for her house. So, now that I'm back to Maida's house, I'm going to drop a beacon here on the side facing this cave entrance. I'm going to give it, you know, a pretty basic name for what it is. It's Maida's Crystal Cave Entrance. And since we can't put all of that, I'm just write Maida's / Crystal Cave. I'm going to catch some oxygen while I'm here. I hope Maida doesn't view this as like a very valuable resource that I'm wasting. And then I'm going to swim back out to my sea truck and finally return home before I die of thirst. But it's just really nice to have all of these places marked out with beacons, so I can actually navigate quickly and easily in the future since I don't know this game world yet. I really don't like the squid sharks. They make everything so much more uncomfortable. I'm getting adjusted to them. They're largely apathetic. So, what I need to do now is go back to my small crash ship base over here. And I need to just take as much as I can carry of the resources I've collected back home to my real base. And I'll probably just see you there, because I have a lot of traveling to do. I'm going to be traveling through pretty much all known territory. And also I'm dying of thirst, so I need to collect some bladderfish, which I'll be doing at night this time because I've learned my lesson. So all I'm going to be leaving behind is titanium and batteries, which is fine by me. What's not fine by me is that warning about how I'm dying of thirst. So let's get home to an area where bladderfish actually live so I don't have to fucking die. I do think it's cool that there are so many Cryptosuchus that it's just like this very scary predator that you don't actually have to worry about. But every time I drive through this area, there's so many of them, I have to wonder how they all survive. Because they're massive, and this place isn't exactly filled with, you know, prey animals. There are a rather small number of small fish. I don't know how they support this population of Cryptosuchus, man. The legs for my base don't seem to exist anymore, so now it's just sort of this floating and vaguely phallic shape. Oh, there we go. The legs came in. Alright, never mind. Everything's fine. It is still much more phallic than I originally realized it was, though. So I'm just throwing as much of my shit in this box as I can immediately, and jumping back out of the base, because I don't think there's any water in here, which means I need to go find some peepers, and I need to find them fast. Or bladderfish, rather. Which, thankfully, it's night, so I can see them fairly easily when they're around. And I'll go cook these two into water now, just so I have plenty of time to find the rest of them. And since this is just going to be a while of me catching bladderfish to not die, I will get back with you once it's all done. Also, apparently I was carrying water on me, and none of this was a real threat. Which makes me feel kind of silly. Kind of very silly. I'm going to build a second locker, though, and turn all this salvage into titanium, just because this is hell. And between this episode and next episode, I'm definitely going to bother, you know, actually sorting out this hell of lockers. Which I am only making worse right now. Alright, so that really didn't take long at all. This is just so much easier to do at nighttime. I think I've been at this for like maybe a minute, and I have almost a dozen bladderfish, something like that. Yeah. So, that's my water problem solved for at least a couple of episodes. And I can immediately see that I want to expand this base, which means I need to move some things around. Specifically, I want all of the main walls of this initial circular room gone. Because I'm going to be expanding this base in all 4 directions, well, all 3. One of the directions is already expanded, it's just the entrance. And I'm probably going to need a whole load of titanium for what I'm about to do. In fact, it turns out that I'm going to need so much titanium there is no way I could actually do what I want to do just yet. So instead, I'm going to be coming back to you in a little bit after either resource gathering or going back to my brief base to grab all of the supplies it had. Because just the very first part of this that I'm going to be building required 2 plasteel ingots, which is all but 3 of my titanium. The good news, however, is that now I have this massive fuck-off room. I'll probably need to start building some foundations because my hull strength is at 1. So, how do I get more hull strength? Titanium and lead. I'll need to make some of those, I guess. Or alternatively, I can make reinforcements, which are lithium and titanium. But either way, I need to go build a lot of stuff. Which which means I need to go collect a lot of stuff, because this is going to be mostly a base building episode, it turns out. This is probably going to be a pretty substantial amount of collecting, and it's such a large amount of collecting that I'd argue it's an important part of the campaign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this to music, speed it up, and then I am going to put a time card on the screen for when this actually finishes, and you can see me having built all of this, not collecting and building. I'll see you then. Unfortunately, it's looking like this episode's going to include no real game progress on account of the fact that I spent the entire episode collecting resources and building a base. However, I have now color-coded my beacons. You can see the green ones are places that I view as safe, including my sea truck, which is currently docked in my new moon pool. Orange are areas around the world, and blue, which are basically invisible if you aren't looking for them, are alien artifacts. Now, in terms of the base, it's got more solar panels now because it needs to charge my truck from time to time, which runs out of battery real fast. And the only way into the base is the moon pool, which has my reinforcement so that the whole thing doesn't collapse under its weight and sink to the bottom of the ocean. Here is my moon pool. It's where you dock your sea truck. It's where it's charged and repaired. I don't yet have the panel that allows me to customize my sea truck, but, you know, one day, life goals. Here is now my bedroom, the first room you enter into. It's basically very depressing, but it's nothing compared to the level of depressing that is the main room of the building. This room, which is, you know, 90% empty, and then one row of unorganized lockers next to a battery station and a fabricator. So, this doesn't feel like a home anymore. This feels like it has lots of growing room. Hopefully, sometime in the next few episodes, we'll fill it out. But for now, this has been rather incoherent. I'm sorry that we couldn't actually make game progress this time. But oh well. I hope you enjoyed the video in spite of that, and if you did, consider subscribing. It really helps the channel grow. I'll see you around.
What happens as you are sleeping? I was being pulled from a logical world to a logical world, with you at the center of it all.
I was dreaming. The brain processes in mysterious ways when we sleep.
Does it serve a purpose? It was such disorienting and fragmented thought. Random images. What is the purpose of this device?
It plays music so that I have something to listen to.
I'm trying to let the video end, and I was just playing music while he talked, and now he wants to know what the jukebox is too.
Is it mathematical?
Look. Alan, I'm trying to end the video. Can you stop, man?
It does. Just not in the way you're probably thinking. Music and math are strongly related. Rhythm is math. Harmonies can be math. But music as a whole is more than that. We experience it on an emotional level.
Also, even though this conversation is in my head, I cannot hear it over the jukebox.
Humans are controlled by music.
We make music, and we're moved by it. Not everything is about control, Alan.
I do like Alan quite a lot, even if he won't shut up sometimes. But for real now, this has been rather incoherent. Video is actually ending. See you around.